Attention, bobsled riders! You will soon be embarking on a thrilling podcast down the icy slopes of the Matterhorn. So please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the bobsled at all times. Auf Wiedersehen!
Welcome, yodelers! I am Jackie. We have
Peter?
Chivas.
And we are the Matterhorn Yodelers. And today, we're going to have some fun and do some Would You Rather Questions Disney Edition.
Oh man, I was really hoping that this would be
True or false?
politic edition.
gosh.
No, we're not doing that? Okay.
No, we're going to avoid that as much as possible. Alright, so, first question, Star Wars related.
Ooh.
Trump was a character in Star Wars. No! No politics. All right. Sorry.
All right.
Star Wars.
Star Wars, so, would you rather be Jar Jar Binks or Rose from the new trilogy?
Jar Jar Binks, easy. That's an easy one. Jar Jar Binks can do some crazy stuff. He's got his long tongue. He can do, like, giant backflips. Like, he is... he's clumsy, but he's got ability. Like, he's actually cool. Rose, like, she doesn't do anything.
She's
Except ruin...
She is like us. She's just normal. If I
Yeah.
had to pick somebody to be, I want to be somebody special.
Yeah.
And Jar Jar Binks would be that person.
Yeah.
He's different. A different experience. Tragic ending to a story.
You'd be able to breathe underwater. Like, there's so many cool things you
Yeah.
could do. as
He's
Jar
he's
Jar.
like an outlaw. He's on the run too. Jar Jar, you was in big trouble. Like I just, you know, he did something horrible.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
What would you be?
I would be Rose, because I feel like Jar Jar Binks screws up everything.
That's
Well,
frustrating.
I'm used to that. So that's my everyday life. So that doesn't change much for me.
That's one of those, yeah, I don't. I could see where like it would be like frustrating trying to get things done, but Jar Jar was just like moseying around the, the forest when he bumped into some crazy Jedi guys, and he just started eating,
Hey, if it wasn't for Jar Jar, the Jedi's never would have made it to Theed to rescue the Queen.
Not in time.
Not in time, for sure.
No, he certainly was a vehicle put in place by Emperor Palpatine because he's
That's
the
right.
true apprentice.
That's right.
Not Darth Maul.
Jar Jar Binks is the true Sith Lord.
Alright, so, here's the new one. If you could only eat one Disney food for the rest of your life, would you eat a Disney World churro
Ugh.
or a dry burger at Disneyland?
Oh gosh. I'm going to go with. I said first thing come up in my mind was churro. Then you said Disney World, and I was like, oh, not
Yeah.
crunchy. But I have a sweet
Soggy
tooth.
churros, not a fun thing to
I
do.
will do the churro because it still has sugar, and I love sugar. Speaking of the hamburgers, when I worked at the Tiki Room, the break room was right next to the restaurant. It was the Western one.
Yeah.
Where they serve burgers.
Pecos Bills.
Yes,
Yes.
Pecos Bill. Thank you, Peter. So I would work there closing because I was going to school during the day, and at night I would see them clean up. And I saw the most disturbing thing: a dumpster bin filled with just
Patties.
meat patties.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, oh, all right. It's just weird to see food that you would eat in a garbage can, but a lot of meat patties. And I understand why they do it. It's like, well, it's not like we'll just serve it up tomorrow. It's like, no one ate them, throw them away.
Yeah, that's it.
Understand the business practice, but it was just one of those, like, seeing all those meat patties in a garbage can was just like, okay.
It's actually
different perspective.
There's actually an interesting video where they actually talk about what they do with their food waste.
How do they?
They like convert it into energy.
Yes.
It's really cool. Like, they've got this huge plant that they throw all their garbage food and things like that, and they convert it into
That makes
energy.
sense.
So
Instead of just throwing it away.
yeah, they actually use it at Disney World at least. But for me, I'd probably pick the burger because I could actually live off of that. Churro, you can't really live off of sugar. Dough, like so it's like it's a dessert that doesn't taste very good in Florida. It's delicious in California. Disney World.
It's the humidity. It kills the churro.
It does.
The only place you can get the churro at Disney World is in front of the Mexican pavilion. The Mexico Pavilion.
Those are good churros.
That's the only place where they serve
Yeah.
the vending. They don't serve them at
Magic Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom, not at all.
It's funnel cakes.
They serve them
Funnel cakes are Disney World
Don't they serve
churros.
them in Hollywood Studios?
I don't think so.
I
mean,
can't-
when I was there, they did.
I don't remember them. I only remember if I wanted a churro, it had to be a soggy one in front of the Mexican Pavilion.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh look, churro, and you get it, and you're like, that's.
It's not a churro. This is
And then
garbage.
you come back a year and you're like, maybe they're better. And you eat it, like, nope, still not better. Can you recook this again? Crunchy, please.
It's like when you took a bite of that donut from the grocery store and it was still dough.
I was like, I didn't know they put cheese in these things. Like, that's not cheese. That's dough. And I was like, oh, I spent 50 cents on this.
Yeah.
All right. So, would you rather?
What would you do?
I'm sorry.
You can answer the question.
Probably churro.
Okay.
So I'll get churros.
I've had Disneyland's burgers. They're just not good.
They remind me of cafeteria. Like
Oh, they are.
School burgers.
They're not very good. Why
I
people
could
stand
taste
in
the
line?
dryness, and you're like,
Like people like that's the one thing I think people just don't understand when it comes to Disney food is that if you're willing just to pay an extra $2, you can get so much more food.
yeah.
Cause like how much money like you might have to pay $10 for that garbage burger. If you spend $12, you can get like a full like good meal somewhere else.
At like the Mexican, like
At the Mexican restaurant. Like
yes.
Yes. Yeah. That,
like I think that's one thing that people kind of like. It's like, oh, I've got to go cheap. I'll get the cheap burger and chicken nuggets. If you just spend just a couple more dollars, you can get like good food.
oh, yeah.
Good or just like tolerable.
Better food.
Better food, yes.
Better food's more appropriate. Yeah, the Disney food plan, I think it's worth it.
It depends. It depends on what you
It depends on your stay and how long you're staying there.
Yeah.
and what
and
you're
the
looking
level.
and what you're looking for in terms of what food you want.
Yeah. And if you're having the full experience, just do it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying go to like the cellar or at
La Cellier.
La Cellier, yeah,
In
that's.
Canada to get that $50 steak or whatever.
I did it once, and steak was good. Service was horrible. I must have had like a French.
Well, you were
I was CP.
You were
were
CP,
CP,
so yeah,
that's
you
why.
get mistreated when you're
When
CP.
you are a CP at Disney World and a server finds out you're a CP, you get the worst
They already
service.
get their tip. You have to
Yes.
pay 20% gratuity. It's the worst.
Yeah, so your tip is already included in the bill when you're... Is it a cast member?
Yeah.
So when you're a cast member and you're staying at a restaurant,
Even yeah.
your tip is already included in the bill.
They get 20%.
And so
They don't have to try as hard.
they don't try at all.
I got one glass of water there. They didn't even refill it. Wow. I once had to go to the back, go into the kitchen, and chase down my waitress. And I got confronted by the manager, and I told him, like, it's like, there was ice in here. There's no more ice. And it's not because I ate it. It's because it melted and I drank it. Because there was a huge party and she was just catering to them. There was like 20 people.
Sure.
Money there, and I'm sitting there, and I think it was like an anniversary meal, and I was like, this is garbage. And like, I just told him, it's like, well, you have to understand, and I'm just like, you guys are horrible. You're mistreating your workers. And so like, yeah, that was bad.
Word of the wise, you will be if you go into a park as a guest, you will be treated fine.
Yes.
Yes.
As a cast member, college program, you do not get treated fine.
Even cast member restaurants. Yeah, it's not great.
I actually,
You have
Like-
to keep it a secret until they give you the bill, and then you're like,
They're like,
I actually started eating at like the cast member cafeterias when I'd go visit the parks because some of that food was really good. When at least in the cafeterias I visited when I was there.
That's a debatable one.
Yeah.
Like,
we know
their
that.
Their pancakes were amazing. I love their
I heard
pancakes.
Hollywood Studios had a better cafeteria.
It was a great cafeteria. Oh, I would go there all the time. I got confronted by a manager, like, because I was visiting the park that day, and the manager from a different section was like, "You're not supposed to be back here." I'm like, yes, I can. I work here. You see that big building? I work there.
Alright, moving on. Would you rather live with the 7 dwarves or Cinderella's stepsisters?
7 dwarfs.
They're messy.
Yeah. And they probably
mean,
smell.
It depends on my. Am I playing the role of Cinderella?
No. You yourself.
I just
Well, I'm
lived
just
there.
roommate. I'm a roommate.
You're a
with them.
roommate.
I don't know. I couldn't stand them. They would annoy me so much. Like, I could stand like messy guys.
I don't know if I can deal with like.
I couldn't stand those.
There's
those
a
girls.
lot of personalities.
Because I had this discussion with my wife where, like, for me, what attracts me to people is the sound of their voice most. And the stepsisters have the most annoying voices, period. And it would drive me absolutely bonkers living in that house. So I would rather live with the 7 dwarfs for that reason alone.
Okay.
I would like to, if I'm staying at the place, they certainly have a really nice place. The
Sure.
sisters.
Oh,
Sure,
yes.
they do.
If I'm not treated like a second-class citizen, I have no problem staying with them. It's clean. Cleanliness is a huge thing with roommates.
I know, they got Cinderella
cleaning it.
cleaning it for you.
Heck yeah. Chop chop. How about you, Jackie?
It's tough because I'm a girl and I don't know if the stepsisters would like me
Girl dynamic.
because,
Girl drama.
you know, I would take away their potential of marrying a spouse or something.
That's true.
So I would say 7 dwarves. They like to have fun. They have good
Yep.
parties. So
They do. They like to
They
have
do
fun.
know how to party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong for a nice yodel party.
Yeah, that would be pretty fun. But they don't wash their hands.
Not the most ideal situation when it comes to COVID, that's
No.
for sure.
All right. Would you rather be a llama for 1 year or a beast for a year?
Beast.
Heck yeah, bees.
Beast.
Yeah, you're just tearing things up.
Like, no one getting you a llama. Why would I be a llama? What's the perk of being a llama?
Yeah, what would be the perk of being a llama? What do you see in that being a plus?
Everyone would want to pet you, give you attention.
If I'm
You'd be
been transformed
loved.
into an animal, the last thing I want is people randomly touching me.
Here, you want some pellets?
But again, if I'm being hunted,
Well, exactly.
okay, so here's the scenario. If people are hunting you for a year, knowing that you're the beast, and
You're
Aladdin's
gonna
not on
be-
your side to like...
That's right, Aladdin will defend the beast. That's a prior episode. I think that was the character battle.
That was a demo. A character demo, right? We didn't
No,
discuss
No,
that.
no, that was an episode. That was like
Character-
our second episode.
Second
I think.
episode.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
second
don't know if that one
episode.
made it or not.
Where Aladdin and the Beast were together, and I made Aladdin like he defends the Beast.
Yeah, I don't want Wreck-It Ralph destroying me.
That's right.
A coordinated attack.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the scenario, like, you're the llama, and you only have Yzma
Right. Yzma.
trying to hunt you down, or you're the beast, and the crowd's hunting you down, what would you do?
Okay, so
That's
that's
more dynamic, right?
Right.
There's more dynamic there. I would probably still go with Beast because I think I could be able to take care of myself. I'd be able to get my own food. Whereas as a llama, I don't think I would have the ability to defend myself against an attack. Whereas the Beast totally could.
Okay, so defense is a huge thing. My gut says the llama. Yzma is so incompetent.
Yeah.
And it would be kind of
Relies
fun to
on
have
Kronk.
Kronk like chasing you, and like that'd be kind of fun. Like, I'd rather have them chasing me than like a village chasing me with pitchforks, just for the sheer like, if you like pull one on Yzma and Kronk, it like feels good. Like, oh, that was funny, you know. I just for that, for
Yeah.
the humor part.
I'm with Japheth, definitely llama. I don't know. I just think it would be more fun than like a beast.
Constantly on the run.
Yeah, constantly like.
There's a theme song,
hiding.
Kill the Beast.
Kill the Beast. It's a
There's
great
like
song.
there's shirts and bumper stickers made.
I'd become famous like Bigfoot.
Kill the Beast
that would be-
2020.
That would be the thing. I would become the next Bigfoot. Like, that would be cool.
Yeah. And then you change, and you're like, oh, the Beast.
That's right.
All right. Would you rather stay at the Polynesian Resort, the room of your choice, but can only go to the park for one day? But
Okay.
your stay's all paid for.
So at Disney World. Okay.
Yes, at Disney World. Or stay off property and go to the park for a week and pay for 50% of your stay.
Wait, how much am I paying at the Polynesian?
Nothing.
Nothing. But I only go to the park for one day.
One day.
I know what I'll do. I'm going to the Polynesian. I love it. I can do... Again, I worked at Disney World for like 3 years. I've seen Disney World inside and out. And I haven't been there in like 7 years. Or no, it's been 5 years. 5-6 years. Not much has changed. So I would love to just stay at the Polynesian. I love it. It was one of my favorite places to go. And to get the pulled pork nachos...
The best thing.
The best snack ever. And then finish the night watching fireworks on the beach. Like, not even going to the park. Like, that would just be... Just one day of staying at the Polynesian would be a lot of fun for me. To where I don't feel the need to go to Disney World for a whole week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love the Polynesian. I love the restaurants there. They're all good. Yeah, that is my favorite. So after you said Polynesian, I was like, I don't care what it is. I'm picking the Polynesian. It's my favorite. Peter?
Sleep in the cabanas.
Yeah. I can put me in the closet. I've been happy too. I love just the waterfall and the
It's a nice
smells.
lobby for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Nice resort. I would pick off property. I would do that. I'm a park goer. I love the parks. Like I did the tours. Like I went and resort hopped and looked at the different resorts to see what they offered, and like I'm not a person that likes to sit still. I like to keep going and moving, and so being at the Polynesian Resort would be fun for a little bit for me, maybe for a few hours, but I would get bored. I would rather have the whole week experience going to Disney parks, and if I wanted to, I could go to the resorts and get those pork nachos. I could go see the fireworks on the beach if I wanted to. So I feel like I get more if I stay off property than I do if I stay on property in this scenario.
But I think for me, going to the Polynesian would slow me down, and I really appreciate a slow moment.
Yes.
Now, that's going to places like that slowed me down where I can just relax.
Sure.
Because I am married to someone who is a go person. Like, let's see everything, and it's fun. But the moments where I could sit down and relax, I appreciate those moments.
I can't do that. I have to keep moving. Like even if the times where I have just sat down was me forcing myself. It was like a challenge almost. Like when I think I said in a prior episode where I sat in front of Cinderella's castle for an entire day for 6 hours. I just sat in front of the castle and I watched the same stage show
All
4
the security
times.
cameras were watching you the whole entire time,
Yeah.
going, "This guy's a target."
Yeah, and that was it was nice. It was cool because it was a different experience doing that. But yeah, I can't sit still. Even because I go to Disneyland with my family and my kids, and
It's different.
we have to trade off. Me and my wife have to trade off occasionally when we ride rides, and so me sitting, waiting for someone else to enjoy themselves is I get
It's
so
so
anxious.
Yeah.
It's torture to me when I'm like, I could be doing so much more right now. And so, like, just to chill out at the Polynesian, just like, that does not sound relaxing to me. I relax when I go and do things. So that's just me, though.
See,
I think it changes if I have my kid with me. I don't know if I would pick that.
See, I guess I'm only looking
I'm
at it
still
from the
new to
perspective-
being a parent where I'm still thinking, like, I don't have a kid.
You haven't
Let's keep going without this. Like,
You haven't experienced...
being in a park with, I experienced being in my living room with a child going, like, all right, I've got you cornered. You're caged. Here's a bottle.
See, for me, beforehand, I probably would have sided with, like, Peter's side of, like, spending the week at the park, but as I appreciate the resorts more since I've worked at Disney World, I definitely pick Polynesian.
Well, it helps that you know, it doesn't help that you only have 1 foot, you know.
Well, I have, for our listeners, I have 2 feet.
She has a bad ankle.
I have a bad foot, but definitely Polynesian. I spent a lot of time when I was in Florida at the resorts, just hanging out in the lobby, eating the foods at all the different
Pulled
resorts.
pork nachos. Oh.
Yes, if you ever are in Disney World and go to the Polynesian, Captain Cook's,
Yeah.
it's the quick service at Polynesian, get the pulled pork nachos. It's...
I also believe they have them at Disneyland in the Grand California Hotel.
Do they?
I believe so. I could be mistaken, but I think I remember hearing that they have pulled pork nachos at I forgot what the restaurant is
Well-
called there. So
But yeah, go to Disney World for sure. They're there. You know, take them outside, enjoy the atmosphere. It's great.
It is.
So, all right. Would you rather spend a day with Walt a year before he passed away, or spend a day with Walt when he released Snow White?
a year before he passed away. Absolutely. That was like when people think of Walt Disney, that's the Walt Disney people think of. Is Walt Disney at that point in time when he's working on Epcot and he's constructed Disneyland, like he's looking towards the future.
The visionary.
The vision, yeah, that is visionary Walt. So
All the future thinking and yeah. He's like 3 or 4 steps ahead. Yeah, definitely it's an interesting... I'm with you on that, but I'm the curiosity side of like, what is Walt like?
Young Walt.
Young Walt.
Young Walt, sure.
You know, do we go rob banks and jet skis and...
Reference to our...
Or paddle
Game
boats.
of
We'll do
Waltz.
paddle boats. We'll do paddle boats and riverboat gambling. Yeah, I mean, I think it would be interesting to be with a Walt that's my age and kind of like relate or see how he sees the world. And you don't get a lot of information about Walt the man in that time period as you do towards the end of his life when there's so many people that work with him or under him that experience that magic. And so it'd be kind of fun just
Sure.
day to hang out with because that's all I need.
I'll
Just
take
a day.
either one.
Yes. is
I'll
there
take any
is there an
one.
option C for A plus B? What do you pick, Jackie?
So I would pick old Walt.
Walt.
Yeah, before he passed away. Just
You want to get the dirty dish, huh?
I want to get the tea.
We are referencing our Date with Walt
Episode.
We liked that episode. It was a fun one. If you haven't listened to it,
But
recommend
no.
it.
I think that Walt would have so much knowledge and experience with, all of building up a company from the ground up. And, when he when he released Snow White, it was still early on in the Disney company.
It would just be cool to see the fire in a man that just just changed movies right there and see him like, okay, we're going to do this now. Like, just to see him going like, oh, we're doing this. Yeah, the young entrepreneur creative would be kind of fun to see in that moment.
Alright, here's a fun one. They'll throw you
These
guys-
weren't fun before?
No, these are serious. Alright. Would you rather wear Elsa's dress or Cinderella's?
I think Cinderella's, because I think Elsa's would be really cold. Yeah.
I think Elsa's would be more comfortable.
But it's made out of ice.
Is it?
Yeah, when she like...
I don't know. She's got magical dress powers in both movies.
Yeah.
But I think
she
that they're
makes-
made out of ice.
Are they?
I don't know.
How does she change her dresses without, like, she makes ice?
I don't know. But the dresses don't look like ice. They don't move like ice. She has power to make flexible ice, like
It's like-
fabric
it's-
ice. I don't know.
I mean, the ice can weave into, like, a cotton, like...
No, I don't know about that.
Then how does she change from her, like, inaugural, like,
So
royal,
let's
like, dress to the cold doesn't bother me anyway? It's ice. I think it's ice. I thought it was ice.
let's just say the temperature of the dress doesn't affect.
Oh, I'm gonna go with Elsa. It's so much more stylish.
I think so.
Oh, Cinderella for me. I just think
Yeah,
it's
it's a big
classy.
poofy, big
Yeah.
poofy dress.
That is a princess dress.
No, I think Elsa's dress would be more form-fitting and just really show my shape to its truest form.
Look at my curves.
I've really worked hard during COVID to get this mod where it needs to be.
Yeah.
All right. So if you could close a park forever on Disney World property,
Disney World property.
Disney
a
World.
park.
Yes, a park. Hollywood Studios or Animal Kingdom?
Probably Animal Kingdom for me.
I want to say Animal Kingdom, but a part of me is saying, like, you need to close down Hollywood Studios.
I agree with Japheth.
Why would you close down?
I don't know. My gut's just telling me, like, you need to shut it down. It's so eclectic, and it's not even, it's like California Adventure. It's not even, like,
It's a shell. Of
it's a shell. It's been mutated so much where it's like, just start over.
It's a generic blah park.
Yeah.
I can concede that point.
There's not a ton there to do, so if like one attraction is closed, the other are just miserable.
And how you get around it in Hollywood Studios is weird. Like, you want to go down to Sunset Boulevard, you go there, and there's no other access to it. It's a dead end, and then you gotta walk all the way back and go, and then it's not maneuverable. And you can keep the rides there, but just redesign it to be more fluid.
I think they're working on that. I think that the plan is to make it like that. I think part of their plan would be to get rid of the old animation building, and that would be able to create a pathway that they can connect
Yeah.
Sunset Boulevard to that section of the park again. But no, I get that, and that was definitely issue I had with Hollywood Studios. I'm just extremely biased because that's where my attraction is, and I don't want it to close.
I don't. You said just close the park, but it doesn't mean you have to get rid of the ride.
I know,
So you
but
can
I don't
redesign it.
want it to close it in any form.
Okay.
So, but Animal Kingdom, like, I picked Animal Kingdom because I never connected much to that park. I probably only went there a handful of times. Yeah, I know they built Avatar Land, and I haven't experienced that
I
yet.
haven't either.
Okay.
But, like, the only things that I really did was I would ride Everest, and then I would go see Finding Nemo the musical. That was pretty much all I ever
I like
did.
the Lion King show. That was fun.
The first time I did it was when we went with For You.
Oh, really?
That was the first time I did.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was okay. It was okay
That was
to
fun.
me.
It's no Nemo.
It's no Nemo. Unfortunately, who knows if Nemo's coming back from recent layoffs, but...
Moral got him. All right, Jackie, you picked Hollywood Studios.
Yep, Hollywood
Okay.
Studios, Animal Kingdom Park, love it. I don't know. I think it's a cooler temperature park with
It's
the
the hottest
trees.
park.
It's the hottest part. What are
It's
you
more
talking
cement.
about?
It's more cement there.
No,
It is
I
the
don't know.
hottest part.
I feel like temperature-wise, it's cooler because there's a lot more shade and trees.
I don't
I
I don't agree with you.
Mm-mm.
Well, okay.
Maybe in sections.
Yes.
There are sections that are heavily treed,
It is.
but for the most part, it's all out.
It
in
is
the open.
hot.
It's hot.
They designed it for
Animals.
big crowds and big, and it's just it's well designed. It's just it's hot.
Yes.
But other than that, I do like Animal Kingdom Park. I always have a smile when I go there. Hollywood Studios, I'm just here for the good attractions, and I'm out.
They do have better snacks at Hollywood Studios. I
Yep.
always thought like the little
I
carts on
dis-
Sunset Boulevard.
I disagree.
Sunset Boulevard
I
had the best snacks.
hated
and
the
the ice
food.
cream. And
Their quick service restaurant is garbage. I'm not going to deny that.
All of the food there, I did. I'm
Brown
so-
Derby,
Yeah.
Brown Derby was great.
that was fantastic. Their Cobb salad, that's what they're famous for, is their
Yeah,
Cobb
we had
salad.
that.
And
Did we eat at the restaurant with?
No, I've actually never eaten that Brown Derby.
Oh,
so.
I wait.
were
there
you
was-
not there when we went?
Dude, were you there with Mom
I was
and Dad?
there, yeah.
We had a great waiter.
That
He
was-
like
he
sold
was-
mom. He sold Mom and Dad on dessert.
And that never
Mom and Dad
happens.
never get dessert at a nice restaurant. That was big.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So Jackie wasn't there.
No,
I thought
finals.
you were.
Finals.
Okay.
I was in school, so I couldn't make it. Alright, so would you rather spend the week during Thanksgiving week or Christmas week?
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving is not as busy as people think it is.
No, it's not. Like, it is busy, but it's not Christmas.
Not Christmas. And we'll discuss that later.
Yeah, Christmas.
We have a podcast episode that we're planning that's all about Christmas.
From
Christmas
from a
cast member.
cast member, CP, a college program,
Yeah.
employees perspective.
So look out for that. But yeah, definitely Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
For sure. Christmas, it's...
That was a softball.
It's
You just
scary.
tossed up there. That was
Yeah,
easy.
that
That was the easy one.
Because like the thing is, like, you get everything for Christmas anyways. Like, you get all the theming, the decoration, so it's like you're going for Christmas
Don't get me wrong, it's busy during Thanksgiving.
on Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving week.
The end of the week. So from like Wednesday through the weekend is busy.
I don't know.
It didn't bother me that bad.
wasn't-
I know
it
it
wasn't
wasn't
as bad.
like, oh, Thanksgiving's like, yeah, it's a little holiday weekend. You get that, but like 4th of July was way worse than that.
I would imagine 4th of July.
Oh, miserable.
Alright. Would you rather work quick service or parking duty?
Parking.
Probably parking.
Parking. Absolutely.
The camaraderie in the parking, they're tight.
Yeah, I had a roommate that worked parking and she loved it, so definitely parking.
I-
What's her name? Shout out.
Courtney!
Better listen, Courtney.
You better listen, Courtney. I'll let her know. But.
Yeah, I only hear horror stories from the people that work quick service. Like you have to deal with guests who are at their crankiest because they come to you when they're hungry, and you ask them to spend $10 on a dry burger. They're not going to be happy towards you. So
You call this a churro? It's like,
Soggy churros.
so.
but like parking, you catch guests at the peak of their excitement. They're
And at the end, when they're all trying to get on the tram.
Yeah, no, that may not be the best working nights, but that's what college programs are for.
That's right.
Alright, would you rather spend the night at the Disneyland Suite in New Orleans or Disney World Cinderella Castle?
That's tough.
I would pick Disneyland's.
Really?
Yes, for this reason alone. The balcony.
Yeah.
You have access to that balcony. You can sit out there. You can people watch Cinderella Suite in Disney World.
It's a box.
It's a box. I don't even... there's not even a window you can look out on. So, like, you're just in it's a very fancy, beautiful suite. Don't get me wrong. But, like, if I'm going to, like, have a place to, like, relax and, like, I want that balcony. That is a beautiful balcony with a spectacular view over rivers of America, over New Orleans Square.
The
That's-
balcony is a soft point for us because before it closed,
We'd eat lunch there.
we would have lunch there on that balcony.
Not served to us. We would bring our own snacks.
Back when it was the Disney Gallery.
And
Yes.
we would go up there and they had some rocking chairs and you could sit up there and look over. I mean, we're referencing something from like 18, 20 years ago that you could do that. You know, it was before I graduated when we
It was a
did
while
that.
ago, yeah.
So, I mean, the kind of like, it's sad to say, but yeah, that would be,
I know-
it would be, you know, reminiscing of, it was a good moment. That was the moment where we slowed down
That's true.
and appreciate being where we're at with, you know, with our family. And I would go with Peter and with New Orleans. It would be cool to do the castle, be like, I stayed at the castle, but
That's all
for
it
the
is.
slow down moment, yeah, I mean, New Orleans would be really great.
I would choose castle. You know, as a girl, I always dreamt about being in a castle. So it would just be a cool,
If you ask the right person, you can get a tour of it.
yeah.
So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna spin it this one. We're gonna take out the castle and we'll put the firehouse at Disneyland. Which one would you pick? Walt's private suite.
No, I'd probably still pick the Disneyland suite in New Orleans.
Yeah, I would pick the Disney.
I'd pick the firehouse. I'd want Walt to hunt me. He'd be like, "Whoa, what are you
Because
doing?"
like I've seen pictures of the suite, and like it's okay. It's kind of small, and at least I mean they've kept it decorated for that time period. So I don't know how comfortable I would feel. I feel like I would be like sitting in a museum at that point, and I don't know if I would feel comfortable there. I would love. I wish for a day that I might get a tour inside or peek inside that I can see with my own eyes, but I would never want to like stay there or hang out there.
It's like staying in the Abraham Lincoln room for me. You know, at the White House.
Oh,
where it's
the
haunted.
Lincoln room?
The
Yeah.
Lincoln room where it's haunted. Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you were offered $3 billion to never step inside of a Disney park, would you do it?
Yes.
$3 billion?
Yeah. I couldn't do it.
Really?
No.
I'd do it for probably like $50,000.
I probably wouldn't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm shallow for money here.
It's because, well, I mean, because, like, yeah, the money's great, and I could probably build my own freaking theme park for $3 billion, but, you know, there's something special about Disneyland or Disney World that, like, means so much more than a monetary value
Yeah.
to me. That's what, it was hard, because $3 billion, I could live a very comfortable life, but I would think to myself, what would I want to do for fun? Well,
it's always what you can't do, it's what you want to do.
Exactly.
correct, and that's what I would want to do. I would want to go to a Disney park anywhere, and to be told that, nope, you're not allowed to go to any Disney park anywhere, even though you have full capability of staying in the best place
Yes.
ever and have the most dream vacation, but you can't.
Right.
And I couldn't do that.
Man, I have no problem. I would not lose any sleep. I love going to the park. Granted, the parks are fun, the family experience.
Sure.
But man, like, I've experienced a lot with the parks, and I don't feel like if I took this Disney, park experience out of my life, I don't think it would just destroy me, or I would just be like, all right, I'm doing something different in this life, and I would just go with it. Like with one relationship ends, you can't go back to it. You just move on, and you just kind of experience life in a different light. And that's how I kind of would see it. Like I said, I would do it for $50,000. Like it would just be something different. Yes, it would be sad that I couldn't go to the parks with my family anymore, but it would kind of allow me to stop it and then just move forward.
The only part that made me hesitate is that YouTube exists and that you can experience
Through it, but...
well, no, like, and honestly, and my wife, she hates it because it makes her want to go so bad. But honestly, like, watching that kind of scratches that itch for me of, like, needing to be in the park. But it also helps the fact that, like, when I do go, like, it makes me go, oh, but I really want to do these. It makes me excited when I know I am going, that I'm going to go try these things that I've seen.
Doesn't do that for me. Like, I see it and I'm like, no, for me it's the sounds, the smells. Like, in this time of the weather where we're at, where it cools down, I think, oh, it's like California, like, oh, like Disneyland, you know, that coolness in the morning. It's just, yeah, it's the environment that I really enjoy. But no,
Yeah.
give me the money.
No.
Show me the money.
No money.
All right. I just have one more question. So, if you could only ride one more attraction, would you ride Space Mountain at Disneyland or Everest at Animal Kingdom?
Space Mountain. I have more sentimental value on Space Mountain than I do Everest. Like, don't get me wrong, Everest is a fun roller coaster. It's really great.
I think Everest won. We did a bracket,
Yes.
and then Everest
Yes.
won.
We did a family bracket with our parents and things like that before we started this podcast, and Everest won the Disney World Best Attraction. Now, we're talking Disneyland Space Mountain, right?
Disneyland
Of
Space
course.
Mountain.
Not
yeah.
Disney World.
No, that would be too easy.
I'd be like, well,
You could-
Mike Wazowski's Laugh House, or it's oh boy, that's tough. I don't know which one.
Nah, the Disneyland one, I think, is... I have more fun on the Disneyland Space Mountain one.
I'm gonna go Everest. I love that roller coaster. It is such a fun roller coaster.
It's a good one.
And I've done Disneyland Space Mountain so many times that I could live without the last
See,
one.
I've experienced Everest in a way that neither of you have.
With a
The-
working
the-
Yeti.
With a working Yeti. I was there for the brief time where the Yeti's arm actually moved and swung at you. So, I've experienced Everest at its peak. And I'm still picking Space Mountain.
I'm Everest.
Everest.
I think it's fun. I don't know. I just maybe the 5 times in a row, like riding Space Mountain with you guys, it changed me. I was not the same man
thing is,
afterwards.
I get off a Space Mountain and I still get off with a big smile.
Oh, sure.
I don't
Both
think
attractions have
I
that.
don't think I do with Everest.
Oh.
Like I like
Because you have
it-
to go face Animal Kingdom and there's nothing else to do there.
That is a good example. But like I don't necessarily feel like so like for example with Space Mountain, I know you said you got burnt out when we rode it like 5-6 times in a row. I was burnt out that night as well. But when I get off of Space Mountain, off of the first time, I still want to get on again. I don't have that feeling with Everest, where I'm all like, I want to jump in line again. I'm like, okay, time to move on to something else. And then you realize there's nothing else, and then you get back in line.
Yeah, Everest. It's just fun.
It's
just
just a
that
fun
it just
ride.
takes you go up and then you're just spinning down. It's just unique how you stop at
Don't-
one point and you go backwards.
Don't put your head down because it'll be down for a good
Yeah.
half the roller coaster.
It would be. Well, okay, so since we're on this ride thing, so Peter, you said Space Mountain.
Yes.
Okay, what about Tower of Terror versus Space Mountain?
Which Tower of Terror?
Whatever the better one that you think, and you can say which one you think is better. I'm giving you the option. To me, they're fun. The Guardians of the Galaxy is fun. You can include that. It's the same ride. So which one would you pick?
Now in my life, I'm gonna have to pick the Disneyland Space Mountain because I can't handle certain rides anymore, and unfortunately, Tower of Terror is one of those. I can do it if I have some Dramamine in me. Like my last trip to Disneyland, I had some Dramamine, and I rode it once, and I'm like, I'm not as sick as I normally am.
Okay.
But I think I'd be able to handle the Disney World Tower of Terror better. There's not as
There's
there's not as many drops, and
Different sequence.
I know when it's over. So, whereas the Guardians, sometimes I don't know when that ride's over. Sometimes I'm riding that, I'm like, okay, can this be over now? Can this be over now?
If that's
Even though
your
it's
case,
a fun ride. It's a fun ride. But when you get that sick, you're just so like, please be over, please be over, please be over.
I'm the opposite. I don't get sick off of those rides, and so I love Guardian Galaxy. It's one of my
You got
favorite
Dad's
rides.
gene where you can just keep going. I'm
You
winning.
like the teacups.
Oh, I love the teacups.
Oh,
I love
gosh.
spinning rides.
Oh, no.
We're similar in that way. We're like, no, there's a limit. So Jackie, Space Mountain or Tower of Terror ride?
Guardians for
Guardians.
sure.
Okay. I'm with Jackie. I like Guardians. I'm burned out from being sick on Space Mountain, but just the rush, like you said, that smile.
great-
I come off like
Oh yes.
I am like re-energized. It's just a great ride.
It is. It's a fantastic ride, fantastic theming. They did a fantastic job with it. No matter how much hate there was when they were building it, I know a lot of people.
There's a lot of hate.
There was a lot of hate before it came out, and everyone kept asking me.
I was on it. I was
Yep,
on that train.
You were on that train.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone kept asking me because I used to work at Tower of Terror at Disney World, and they were like, "Oh, this guy's gonna have an opinion and bash on it." And I was like, "I'm gonna hold off until I see what the product is before I make my judgment."
You were like people with Ben Affleck as Batman.
Yeah.
You're just like, let me wait and see, and then you're like, oh yeah,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is bad. This is garbage.
But like, I mean, and I love the Guardians coaster. I would probably prefer the Hollywood Tower Hotel version because I can handle that version of the ride because there weren't as many drops, so I can enjoy the experience more.
Okay.
But the Guardians it's great. It's too much for me.
Can we do one more question?
Yes.
Disneyland or Disney World? A week at Disney World or 2 days, maybe 3 days at Disneyland? Which one would you pick?
Do I have to pay for it?
No,
Okay.
no monetary. Just you get to pick. You've been given money from me because I've inherited from the $3 billion of not choosing the park. So I'm like, you know what? You guys go to the park, have fun on me. So in this scenario,
Disney World, hands down.
Disney World.
It's more expensive.
Just because of how much it is, you just take the opportunity.
Yes.
Okay.
More bang for your buck. That's hard. It's hard for me. Because right now, all I'm thinking about is Disney World because I'm planning a Disney World trip, so that's what I'm thinking about right now. But I think in my heart, I would pick Disneyland.
Okay. Just curious about that.
Yeah. And that's always the question that everyone always asks Disney fans, which one's better?
Oh, as far as which one's better, that's a different thing. Disneyland's better.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Oh, can I throw in another question?
Sure.
Are we doing good on time?
No.
No. Okay.
One
Last
more
one. Star Wars question. Prequels or sequel trilogy? Yeah, choose one to watch. Which one would you watch? The newly released trilogy
New.
or prequel?
George
New
Lucas prequel.
New
Yeah.
trilogy.
New trilogy for you?
Hands down.
Okay.
That's tough. I would probably pick.
I'm just going to say what mine is. I'm going to pick the new trilogy.
I probably will too.
It's just because the prequels, I've watched them, and I only get joys out of little scenes from the movie. I don't
Yeah.
enjoy the movies themselves. And I like
Yeah.
quoting them. It's like watching Predator. Predator is fun for the moments that Arnold Schwarzenegger speaks, but the rest of the movie you're like, meh.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that sentiment. I think you get more enjoy. Like the movies are, I think, more enjoyable. The
Yes.
sequel trilogy
Yes.
is more of an enjoyable experience.
Story-wise.
Story-wise, I think the prequel's better.
Yes, they give you more to the universe.
But I think, for pure enjoyment reasons, I would pick the sequel trilogy.
Okay. All right.
All right. Well.
One more question. No, I'm just joking.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. Let us know what you would do. I'll post some of these on our social media. So follow us on Instagram and Facebook. You can also email us at matterhornyodlers@gmail.com and then also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Matterhorn Yodlers. Thanks for joining us. Have a magical day.
Auf Wiedersehen. Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of the Matterhorn Yodelers. Please remember, before your bobsled comes to a complete stop, to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And remember...
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.